Welcome, dear friends of the Zodiac, both new travelers and longtime companions, to my channel Wisdom of Zodiac Signs. Today we turn our gaze toward Cancer women, those moon-ruled daughters of mystery whose hearts are as vast as the ocean and just as unpredictable. People often ask me, almost with a conspiratorial whisper, how do I make a Cancer woman miss me? And I can't help but smile, because the answer is never found in cheap tricks or dramatic performances. The truth is, you cannot force longing, you can only become unforgettable. And that is where the real art begins. A Cancer woman will not be dazzled by loud gestures or shallow bravado. She is not chasing what glitters, she is seeking what feels like home. Think less neon signs and more the quiet warmth of a lamp in the window. If you understand her tides, her rhythms of retreat and return, you realize she is drawn to sincerity like a compass finding north. The philosopher might call it authenticity, the psychologist would call it secure attachment, and a Buddhist master might remind us that true connection is built on presence rather than grasping. I simply call it being real. So here's the gentle paradox: if you want her to miss you, be patient enough to let her see your essence, humorous enough to lighten her heavy moods, and wise enough to honor the silences between conversations. A little humor goes a long way. She'll remember the man who burned the pasta yet laughed at himself, far more than the one who bragged about his conquests. In the end, this journey is not about manipulation, it is about resonance. When your presence feels like sanctuary, even the moonlight will conspire to remind her of you, and she will find herself longing for your return. When we speak of winning the heart of a Cancer woman, we are not simply discussing romance, but rather the art of meeting another soul at its most vulnerable and tender point. I have spent years studying not only the archetypes of the zodiac but also the psychology of human connection, and if there is one lesson the stars and the scholars agree upon, it is this: authenticity is irresistible. A Cancer woman's heart, much like a finely tuned violin, resonates with even the faintest touch of truth and recoils from the slightest hint of pretense. You cannot bluff your way into her affections. Masks, performances, and exaggerated drama will be met with silence, much like an audience walking out of a play that has dragged on too long. She is not looking for a leading actor rehearsing his lines. She is seeking a real companion who dares to be both flawed and honest. Vulnerability, however, does not mean parading your pain like a street performer rattling a cup. It is not the daily announcement of your sorrows, nor is it the melodramatic confession that you cannot survive without her. Instead, it is the quiet courage to say, I am still learning, still working on myself, and I am not afraid to show you that I am imperfect. That grounded honesty carries more weight than any grandiose declaration, because she knows sincerity when she hears it. Psychologists remind us that intimacy is not built on one grand confession under the moonlight but through small, consistent acts of emotional honesty, remembering what she said in passing, listening when she shares, and allowing her to see your humanity in ordinary moments. She will sense whether you are performing for applause or actually living your truth. And humor, gentle and self-effacing, becomes the seasoning that makes your authenticity memorable. Admit that you once mistook salt for sugar when baking cookies, or laugh at your inability to fold a fitted sheet like a civilized adult. These humble stories, these small admissions, lodge themselves in her memory. And memory, as every poet and every Cancer knows, is the soil in which longing grows. Yet authenticity is only the beginning. For a Cancer woman, emotional security is not a luxury but a necessity, the bedrock upon which trust is built. Think of it this way: if authenticity is the violin that plays the melody, security is the steady rhythm of the drum that keeps the song alive. She needs to feel safe. Safe enough to reveal her deepest fears, safe enough to dream without fear of being ridiculed, safe enough to know that when she leans on you, you will not step aside. Imagine yourself as the Netflix account that never buffers. Reliability, consistency, and comfort. That's the kind of stability that makes her heart relax and her soul open. It is not about expensive gifts or dazzling adventures, it is about remembering she takes her tea with honey, not sugar, and knowing which film will comfort her on a difficult day. It is about listening to the story of her grandmother and holding it with the same reverence she does, because these details are not small to her, they are sacred. Here is where the paradox of love reveals itself. The chosen ones in her heart are not those who roar the loudest, but those who remain steady when storms roll in. She will never measure you by the noise you make when skies are clear, but by the quiet strength you embody when tempests rise. In the year of triumph 2025, when so many hearts in our world are searching for stability, Cancer women feel this need with exceptional intensity. They are intuitive enough to sense the shifting tides of society, and they cling to those who can be their anchor. If you can be that calm in her chaos, she will carry you in her heart long after you've left the room. So what does this mean in practice? It means showing up when you say you will, even if it is something as simple as a call good night. It means consistency in affection, not vanishing for days and then returning with dramatic apologies. It means being the presence she associates with warmth and safety, the presence she misses not because you dazzled her but because you steadied her. Authenticity without drama and security without conditions, these are the twin pillars upon which love with a Cancer woman is built. Master these, and you won't have to ask how to make her miss you, she will already be doing so, guided by memory, steadied by trust, and quietly longing for the comfort of your presence. If you truly wish to become unforgettable to a Cancer woman, you must understand that her love language is memory. Flowers will wilt, gifts may gather dust, but shared experiences, wrapped in laughter and authenticity, will linger like the scent of rain on warm pavement. Cancer women live half in the present moment and half in the reverie of the past. They are, in essence, archivists of the heart. When you spill coffee at that little cafe and laugh until your stomach hurts, you may think it was just a clumsy moment. To her, it becomes a story she replays on quiet nights. Send her a photo from that cafe weeks later, and it is not the image she sees, it is the memory. When you dance badly in the kitchen and later remind her of the song, it isn't just sound she hears, its warmth returning like a tide. Writers have long said that memory is the architecture of the soul. For a Cancer woman, memory is also the architecture of love itself. And every time she replays those small, imperfect, deeply human moments, her longing for you grows stronger, not out of absence, but out of recognition that she felt seen and cherished. Nostalgia, in her heart, is not weakness, it is her most tender strength, her Achilles heel, the doorway through which love returns again and again. But memory alone is not enough. If you want to dwell in her heart, romance cannot be dismissed as outdated or irrelevant. For a Cancer woman, romance is timeless, like a song that never loses its melody no matter how often it is sung. A handwritten note still carries the weight of devotion. A candlelit dinner is not about the flickering flame, it is about the silent message that says, "You are worth slowing down for." A walk beneath the moon with someone she trusts is not cliché, it is sacred. Yes, I know the modern mind rolls its eyes at corny gestures, but clichés are born from repetition, and repetition happens because something works. A Cancer woman doesn't need diamonds to feel adored. She needs sincerity stitched into small, deliberate gestures. Beware, though, insincerity is a romance killer. Giving her a bouquet without thought is the emotional equivalent of serving plastic fruit on a silver tray, technically impressive, but cold and hollow. She will see right through it. What she desires is not grandiose gestures but genuine ones. The difference between a store-bought card scribbled at the last minute and a heartfelt note in your own handwriting is, for her, the difference between a shallow echo and a timeless melody. Romance, when real, bypasses her defenses and nestles directly into her soul. And yet, To balance memory and romance, humor must enter the room. Humor, for a Cancer woman, is not just entertainment, it is oxygen. It is the reminder that even in a world filled with uncertainty, she can breathe with ease when she is with you. But it must be gentle humor, not sharp, not cutting. She will laugh with you if you confess that you thought avocados were vegetables, or that parallel parking feels like trying to solve quantum physics without a calculator. That kind of humor is endearing. It reveals humility. It shows you don't take yourself too seriously, and she finds that deeply attractive. In fact, it reassures her. With laughter, she feels safe, because laughter is one of the purest forms of emotional intimacy. But tread carefully, sarcasm or cruel jokes will slice through her tender shell faster than you realize. Her intuition is her superpower, and she will hear the emotional undertone beneath every joke. If you tease too sharply or mock someone else to get a laugh, she won't see it as witchy, see it as a warning. And once trust is fractured, she will retreat into her shell where longing cannot reach you. Instead, use humor as a bridge. Think of it as the glue of intimacy. It transforms the mundane into the memorable. A simple Tuesday night watching reruns becomes unforgettable when you trip over your own sock and both collapse into giggles. Those are the moments she will revisit later, lying in bed, thinking of you. She will not miss you because you dazzled her with words, she will miss you because you made her laugh without making her feel small. So, if your question is how to make a Cancer woman miss you, the answer is simple yet profound: become part of her story. Anchor yourself into her memory with genuine moments. Wrap your affection in timeless gestures of romance, not the hollow theatrics of performance. And season it all with humor that uplifts rather than wounds. For the Cancer woman, missing someone is not about absence, it is about resonance. She misses the person who gave her memories to treasure, who made romance feel timeless, and who turned ordinary life into extraordinary laughter. Become that person, and she will carry you with her long after you've left the room, replaying the love you gave her like her favorite song that never fades. When it comes to love, a Cancer woman is not swept away by sudden explosions of passion, she is carried by tides. She does not fall like wildfire consuming everything in its path, she falls like the ocean, steady, rhythmic, and inevitable. Many lose patience with this pace, demanding fireworks when the truth is that Cancer offers constellations. And constellations are far more lasting. With her, every step must be deliberate and genuine. Listen when she speaks, not just nodding politely but remembering the little details she sprinkles into conversation: her favorite candle scent, the childhood memories she guards, the song she hums absent-mindedly while cooking. Those details matter more than grand gestures. Patience here is not passive, it is an active, living proof of your depth. It tells her you are not chasing the thrill of conquest but the grace of connection. Think of it as a slow waltz rather than a sprint, a dance in which every movement carries meaning. One day, without realizing it, the small steps accumulate, and suddenly you discover she has been missing you not for what you did, but for who you are when you're present with her. Yet here lies the paradox: to make her miss you, you must also give her space. Not the vanishing act of a magician disappearing behind smoke, but respectful room to breathe. Cancer women, as deeply emotional beings, require solitude to process their feelings. If she retreats, it isn't a storm warning, it's her way of recharging. Respect that rhythm. Resist the impulse to flood her phone with nervous texts like, "Are you mad at me?" because 9 times out of 10, the answer is no, she just needs time to balance her tides. Instead, focus on your own life. Pursue your passions, explore your hobbies, grow in ways that make you richer as a human being. When you reconnect, she'll admire that independence, and it will make her long for you even more. Absence, in this way, becomes not a void but a bridge. It builds mystery, and mystery, for Cancer, is fertile ground for yearning. The Buddha once reminded us that clinging suffocates while letting go invites true connection. So step back gently, not as abandonment but as trust. And in that trust, she will feel your presence even when you are not around, and she will find herself missing you in the quietest, most profound ways. Passion and kindness, these are the twin flames that ignite the heart of a Cancer woman. If you wish to be unforgettable in her eyes, you must carry both, because one without the other is like fire without light or water without depth. Passion alone can burn too hot, leaving ashes where trust should be. Kindness without passion can feel too tame, too safe, more like a pleasant neighbor than a cherished partner. But when these two forces intertwine, when your fire burns brightly and your compassion steadies it, you create a presence that she will carry in her soul long after you've left the room. Let's begin with passion. For a Cancer woman, nothing is more magnetic than someone who is alive with purpose. And no, this doesn't mean you must be saving the world or painting murals on cathedral ceilings. It means that whatever you love it fully. Maybe it's photography, maybe it's writing, maybe it's that endless obsession with baking the perfect sourdough loaf. Yes, even bread can be sexy if it's baked with heart. Talk to her about your goals, your vision, your dreams, because passion is contagious. When she sees the spark in your eyes, she feels that same spark in her own soul. She begins to dream alongside you, to imagine herself part of the journey. Passion signals to her that you are alive in the truest sense, that you are not just drifting through life but engaging with it. And Cancer, ruled by the moon and attuned to cycles of growth and renewal, is drawn to those who embrace life with fire and intention. But here is the essential balance. Passion without kindness can be dangerous. It can look like self-absorption, like ambition that tramples others in its path. A Cancer woman will never long for the man who is impressive in public but cruel in private. What makes her miss you when you're gone is not simply your drive but the way your drive is tempered by compassion. She is watching, not just how you treat her, but how you treat the world. Hold the door open for a stranger. Check on your elderly neighbor. Offer encouragement to a friend without expecting anything in return. These small acts of generosity carry more weight in her heart than a dozen dramatic speeches. And here's the most important part, it has to be authentic. Do not perform kindness as though it were theater, she will see through the mask faster than you can blink. Cancer women are intuitive, sharp as moonlight cutting through fog. They know when compassion comes from the heart and when it comes from ego. This is where Buddhist wisdom offers us a gentle reminder, the intention behind the act is as important as the act itself. The Buddha taught that giving without attachment, without expectation of reward, creates merit that purifies the heart. In the same way, kindness offered without calculation is what resonates most deeply with a Cancer woman. When you embody that sincerity, when you show that your passion is not only for your own success but also for the well-being of others, you become unforgettable. You are no longer just the man she dates, you are the man she dreams about when she gazes at the moon, the man she remembers when she recalls the word home. So, what does this all mean when we tie it together? Making a Cancer woman miss you is not about manipulation, it is about resonance. It is about aligning with her lunar soul, attuning to her tides of memory and emotion. She craves romance that is genuine, humor that uplifts, patience that proves your depth, space that shows your trust, and yes, passion and kindness braided together into something strong and lasting. She will not miss the man who plays games or tries to keep her guessing. She will miss the man who made her feel safe, cherished, and alive. And here we stand, on the threshold of the year of triumph 2025, a time when the chosen ones of her heart will not be the loudest, flashiest, or most dramatic, but those who carry warmth alongside independence, who marry sincerity with laughter, who balance ambition with compassion. If you can embody that, she will not only miss you when you're gone, she will hold you as part of her story, part of her sanctuary, part of her soul. So my final encouragement is this, to every Cancer listening, and to everyone who loves a Cancer, let life itself be your teacher. Savor the small joys, cherish the shared memories, and embrace both passion and kindness as guiding lights. Do not rush, do not cling, flow like the tides you are ruled by. And to those on this journey of love, remember, the truest way to be missed is to live so authentically, so compassionately, that your absence becomes not just a gap in time, but a longing of the heart. That is today's wisdom. Have you tried bringing more passion and kindness into your relationships? What happened when you did? Share your stories in the comments, I would love to hear them. And if this reflection spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Wisdom of Zodiac Signs. Your cosmic journey deserves guidance, humor, and truth, and together, we will keep walking under the stars.